part 2 of why I think the media is fairly terrible at reporting things to do with real estate and the state of the real estate market. I came across this issue when I was doing the research that I needed for part 1. So if you haven't seen part 1, I would recommend that you go back and take a look. But what I wanted to discuss is, in early February, all the news media outlets came out with their reportings of what was going on with prices in the Toronto real estate market for January of 2018 and comparing it to January 2017. There was the stress test that was coming out, mortgage rates had increased, and so I think there was a lot of wondering what was going to happen with prices to start off the year. And I'll use this article from the Toronto Star as an example. So you can see in the headline, prices fall roughly 4%, and it says on the backs of the single family detached market. And if I scroll down and take a look at what it says in just at the very beginning, you can see a number there. It's around $736,000, and underneath talks about how it's based on the Toronto Real Estate Board. Again, that's my issue from part 1, too big of a geographical area. It's that 4% decline in prices that I wanted to take a little bit of a further look into and see if it had any merit at all. And I came across a really interesting thing, again, when I was doing my research for that part 1 video that I did the other day. So real quick, let's just take a dive into the single family detached market and take a look at what happened January year over year. So the Toronto detached house market declined roughly 4% from January 2018 compared to January 2017. And if we zoom out a little bit and take a look at the TREB, or the Toronto Real Estate Board detached market, there was a fall reported of roughly 9%. But I want to show you something that can happen on a very local level that can influence that bigger picture and totally misrepresent what is actually happening in the real estate market. So when I was doing my research for part 1, I came across an area in the DVP and Lawrence neighborhoods called Banbury Don Mills. And what I discovered was in January of 2017, average prices for detached homes was just a little over $3.1 million. And when I compared that to the average price in 2018 for January, the average price was $1.74 million. So that would indicate right away that there was roughly a 50% decline in prices. But I thought, there's no way that's what actually happened. Prices don't fall in a neighborhood in a year 50%. So I wanted to take a little closer look at what the sale types actually looked like. So here are the 10 sales that happened in 2017. You can see that there were 7 sales that ranged between roughly 1.5 and 2.8 million. This is obviously a neighborhood where there are big lots and big houses. There was also a $4 million sale and 2 $6 million sales. So that's where you get that 3.1 million average for 2017. When you take a look at the 11 sales that happened in 2018, you can see that all 11 were under the $2.6 million mark. So we don't have a $4 million sale. We don't have 2 $6 million sales. That's going to bring the average price for those 11 sales way, way down and make it look like at a cursory glance that sales have dropped 45%. But that's not the case. It's just that there weren't those kind of mega deals that happened in 2018. They were absent in 2018 compared to 2017. But that 45% for Banbury Don Mills is going to be factored into that Toronto Real Estate Board or just the City of Toronto detached family price and be completely misrepresented. It's not actually a fall in prices, but just the kinds of sales that happened from one point to another. So I said it before, and I'll say it again now, and I'll probably say it again in future videos as well, but real estate is hyper-local. But even if you're looking at the local level, if you're not paying enough attention to what's going on, you could get things totally wrong and be really, really misinformed. So I hope you found that helpful again, and thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.